Welcome back, people. The intro that is playing right now is a Japanese graduation song played by this week's guest, Tony Lee, who is a Stanford student from Guangzhou, China. Enjoy. Okay, so guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have with us here Tony Lee. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. I'll try do my first sentence in Japanese. I think I learned it elsewhere. Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
皆さんこんばんは。私はTony Lee です。
Yeah.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name's Tony, and I'm currently a Stanford student. Studying my freshman year. I just concluded my freshman year, and I'm currently in Shenzhen, where I'm taking an internship with Tencent.
Tencent.
If you want to know what Tencent is, it's basically like Chinese. It's like Line in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but
Interesting.
what I'm doing is like on the music industry. So it's more on like how to like run a product or like gather customer feedback and all those sorts of things. So that's the things that we do. And besides like all these stuff, what I'm doing is like playing the piano, like watching like videos on music and all sorts of things. And you probably know that I play like some of those graduation pieces that you probably heard of.
I've heard of them. Yeah. I watched your graduation songs played on the piano. It was like beautiful. I especially like the what is it called? The one from Aimyon. What is it called?
Marigold.
Yeah. That is very good. I've noticed like your fingers, they move very beautifully. It's very artistic how you move your fingers.
Thank you for
do you
that.
do that on purpose, or is that something you just gained over the years?
I think it's like both and both, because you know what, how do I know about this song called Marigold is basically I watched like a TV show called Mr. Hiraji's Classroom. Have you guys heard what that is?
No, not really.
It's called like three. Okay, if we're gonna translate this like class A, grade 3. From now on, you're all my hostages. That's how it's translated.
Okay.
Oh, but whatever. So then I like encountered this song, another song by the same artist, and then I think that this artist is like, she has a lot of good songs, and Marigold was happened to be one of the most popular ones. So
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So the finger thing. First of all, it has to like it is accumulated by skill, because I've been playing it for a long time already. But the other thing is that this song just requires like really delicate touch on like some notes, especially like those contrasts between the bridges. The the chorus and the bridge. If sometimes people don't pay much attention to that, like a lot of people are like technically proficient, but when it comes to like those type of places where like you need the emotions or so sorts of things, like a lot of people are struggling on that. So how do I cope with that? As I just listen to like a lot of songs. I listen to some of my upper class people, and also like some songs on Spotify and all those sorts of things. And that's how I gain like those sorts of control and how the sorts of feel.
Interesting. Yeah, so I watched that YouTube video and I was like, oh, we need this guy to do our intro. So you guys should have heard by now, but Tony sent us a clip of him playing one of the graduation songs. Is that correct? I haven't heard yet, but
I think I sent it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
So,
I've been playing
you
this
guys-
song like a lot in the sorry for the interruption, but I've been playing this song like a lot in our school's like cafeteria.
I know, I've heard.
Our school's dining hall.
I've heard
Chio
every time
has
I go
been
to.
constantly telling me about you that there's this guy playing the piano in the canteen, and especially Japanese graduation songs. Can we talk about that? Why do you like to play graduation songs, and why is it Japanese?
I've been into Japanese music for a while. Like, when I was applying to Stanford, though, I've been listening to like Japanese gagaku music, if you know what that is. Those like very old school stuff that sounds totally different from American music. When I first encountered those sorts of things, I was like, what the heck? How's that source to be music? I don't even know, bro. When I just first encountered things like, I have no idea how music can be written like that. It was totally new, bro.
Wait. So, tell me the type of the genre, the name of the genre again. What was it?
The genre? It's gagaku, or I'll type it here.
Okay, thank you.
It's like the old Japanese song that is played behind the kabuki.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Interesting.
That's the one.
Okay,
so
continue.
So this is the first instance that I've been like into like Japanese music. But let's say I actually wrote like some of those songs that are inspired by those things, and and I submitted them to Stanford as part of my application. I just want to try something new and explore something that I've never seen before. And but what about the modern songs? Modern songs starts off with Joe Hisaishi. Joe H is the GOAT, bro. He's been making a lot of like those like film music. He's so good at it. Like
completely agreed.
Yeah, bro. This guy is like the GOAT. The only guy who can beat him is probably Evan Call, who wrote Anytime, Anywhere and The Story of Us. It's an American guy. But Joe H is definitely one of the greatest guys. So this is how I heard like, like his music. Then I heard this piece. It sounds really similar to like, I think it's called One Summer's Day from Spirited Away. Then I started to think that, wow, like Japanese people wrote better music than like American people in general. So then I came to then I actually saw like a graduation ceremony in like a Japanese school where the only one guy there, like sitting in a corner playing the piano, like 1,000 people singing together. I was like, damn, bro, that was like so cool. And the first song is the first Japanese graduation song that I know, bro. It's actually the song that sounds really similar to, the what's it called? Old Lang Syne. It's called like A Letter to Myself from like 15 years old or whatever the name is.
Oh yeah, that one. That one's super popular in here. I mean, I'm not personally a big fan of that music, but everyone likes it, and it's always sang in graduation songs.
Yeah, it sounds like Old Lang Syne from Scotland. I heard this from I saw this from a movie from an actress. I know that I can type the name, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. Give me 1 sec. Do you guys know this actress? Actress. 1 sec.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, I typed it in her Instagram. She was leading this. That's how I heard those songs. That's how I've heard the first song. I'll also know how to play this. You can probably see it on YouTube. I know how to play that, and then I started to browse like other songs from the song that I sent you guys, and also like, do you guys know this song? It translates to the correct answer.
Yeah,
I also know how to play this, and also tribute to the earth.
Tribute to the earth.
Yeah, I typed the name. This one.
I don't know about this one, but I know that the singer that you sent me, she's a pretty famous actress here in Japan. But I didn't know she produced music and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But she didn't sing it. She was the leading actor. She was the leading actress. But the choir was singing the song at the really end of the video, like the very end of the film. That's how I got that. So lots of good songs. Chords are good. Lyrics are good, although I really don't understand them. But yeah, I can probably just guess the meaning by the Chinese characters, bro. But yeah.
Yeah, the Chinese character and the Japanese Chinese characters
Kanji?
kanji are kind of similar, right? So I've heard a lot of people say that they somehow understand the letters, but yeah, there's some kind of connection there. Okay. Right. So back to the question. So why do you like graduation songs in particular though? Like I understood that you like Japanese songs, right? But why graduation songs? Why are you playing them in the canteen in front of Stanford students? Why not just play it in your dorm? Like why do you want to play graduation songs in front of many people?
First of all, I don't have a piano at the dorm because my dorm is very cramped. Second of all,
okay. Oh, really?
Wilbur Hall is so bad. Second, then why graduation songs in particular? I was thinking about playing these songs, like me personally playing these songs in graduation. Let's say on March the 9th, where a lot of people are singing this song. They're like really emotional. They're really sad. They're gonna be separated from their friends and all those sorts of people. And I'm singing the songs while crying a lot. Bringing resonance to other people. For me, I was just playing the piano. I'm watching them. Why these songs in particular is more because that I want to show people how music itself crosses all those boundaries with whether it's like politics or it's language or it's about like connection, because I can't understand your language, it's for sure. But I know how to play these songs, and let's say if I were to play these songs at a graduation ceremony, you guys will feel emotional.
I would.
So this is the whole point. This brings people together and forms connection.
Do you think by playing the graduation song in the canteen you bring people together?
I mean, most people are Americans. They don't understand what I'm playing. So I just try to explain to them, but I do see two Japanese students. They're like PhD guys. They ask me or saying like, "Hey, bro, are you Japanese?" I say, "No, bro. Why are you thinking that I'm Japanese?" And they're saying that you're playing a graduation song. It makes me feel emotional. It takes me back to like 6-7 years ago when I was like, my graduation ceremony, crying with my friends. I was like, wow, if that's the case, then oh my god. Yeah. At that time, I feel like so surreal. Yeah, it's so surreal that that I really found like people like coming to me like. And also like another undergrad, I became friends with her because like she heard me playing these songs. Like she secretly recorded me playing the Tegami Heike or whatever the name is. She was like recording this, but she doesn't know me at that time until like she was like celebrating her birthday on Instagram. I was like, okay, hey, happy birthday, and it's March the 9th, and I played the song called March the 9th. Have you guys heard this?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I played the song. I sent it to her, and she was like, "Hey, are you playing a Yaga?" I said, "Yeah, bro." I said, "Hey, you know what? I actually secretly recorded. You played so good." I was like, "Okay, thank you. Thanks for that, bro."
Wait, so her birthday was on March the 9th, and you played the March the 9th for her?
Yeah, around that time. When I saw her post, it was I was on March the 9th, and then I saw this song called March the 9th where I'm thinking about most of our graduation to occur on March and like early March, right?
Yeah,
for you guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty strange, but
school starts in April, so that's why a lot of time the songs are related to March related stuff.
Okay.
And the intro ceremony is April, so a lot of it has to do with April stuff like sakuras and stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, long story short, like people really came to me. They thought I'm Japanese. I said no. Hope you guys I just say, hey, hope you guys liked it. And that's the story.
And I don't think it just goes to just graduation songs. I think a lot of the songs brings people together. Like, you know how what was her name, Shakira, makes music for the FIFA World Cup that's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
But she includes a lot of languages, not just African language, but also Japanese, English, French, Spanish, in her lyrics. So you can really see how music brings people together, not just only in graduation songs, but
but that's more on the lyric side and all sorts of things. But I like Shakira is good. I have to say, like she is so talented. She's so brilliant. But I'm personally not like those fan of like those pop songs that are more like on the lyric side or like I'm not a fan of like American pop and like Euro pop. I'm not a big fan of that. Asian pop though, I listen to Mando and Canto pop. But it turns out that a lot of Canto pop songs are Japanese pop songs.
Oh, is it?
Do you guys know like let's give you an example. Do you guys know Sorega Daiji by like
Sorega Daiji by who?
By like I don't know.
Let me search it up.
Yeah. That song is like converted to a very really popular song in Hong Kong, but the Hong Kongers don't know that it was a Japanese song. So that's like, so because everything stems from like J-pop. So that's how I like came through it. I also listened to like a group of artists called YOASOBI. Is that the name?
YOASOBI.
Oh, YOASOBI, yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of their songs, and also like Yorushika.
Yeah, they're massive in Japan.
Yeah, bro. And also, I also like know a girl called like ADO or whatever the name is.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty popular. And it's pretty interesting how you know about the Japanese culture so much.
Yeah.
A lot of the Chinese people do know about the Japanese culture. It's like, what do like the young people in China think about Japan? Do they think of Japan as a country that invaded them or something, or are they more like friendly?
Onto the politics stuff, bro. But okay. Let me give you my honest opinion.
Yeah.
It really depends on the context where you've grown up. Like a lot of people don't really think that those people who post stuff like saying like those like angry stuff it's kind of similar to the Neto Yos or whatever you guys call them. Those people are just like they don't have like a lot of their independent thinking and they just follow whatever the government says, like hatred and all those sorts of things. It's the same in all parts of the world. Like every country have those people who are like xenophobic and like hates other people, but for most people it's not like that. Let's say in the U.S. you have like a lot of xenophobic people who like follows like that like those like people like all the time and says yes to everything they say whenever whatever it's wrong or not. But like most people are not like that. Lots of people like anime stuff like like a lot of my friends watch anime and they like also listen to like J-pop songs. I have a friend who likes YOASOBI for like 6 years, let's say. I also have a group of friends who passed the JLPT M1 when they were just like 10th grade. I was like, what the heck? I think the JLPT is harder than the TOEFL, bro.
I mean,
but yeah,
that's kind of debatable because like Japanese has 3 parts, right? There's hiragana, there's katakana, and there's kanji. And you have a lot of different ways of reading kanji. So there is a lot to Japanese, but I've heard like English is kind of hard to pronounce in China.
I think it's like for most of my friends though, it really depends because I'm from an international school though. Because my school consists of people from 100 countries and regions.
Wow.
Oh, Shenzhen International School.
Oh, Shenzhen International, that's where I first studied. The last 3 years, it's from like UWC Changshu. You've done an interview with like Chris Chris from Indonesia. Like we're like me and Chris are considered alumni. So yeah, he studied in Singapore. I studied in mainland China. That thing's like we have like students from like people from all across the world. So definitely our language has to be English because other people can't understand Chinese whatsoever. So like most of my friends from China can speak really well. Like they're really proficient in English, just like I am. For those who are not that proficient, I mean, they're not like they can't say it absolutely, but they just don't like to say it. They all passed like in China itself. There's like an exam that tests students' English abilities for like research and sorts of stuff. Lots of my friends passed this. This is like fairly easy to me, but for them it's like a little hard because they receive like Chinese public school education. So English skill is really not like a big issue. So
interesting. So so for context for the audience, Tony sent us an essay. So we first asked Tony about his life, and he sent us an essay about a part of his life. And in that essay, which is very well written, I quote, you said you felt dreadful in the public school system before moving to Shenzhen International School, right? So what exactly did you feel, and why did you feel that?
By dreadful, I mean like, I don't know whether you guys have grown up in like this sort of situation, but for me, like, and also some of my friends in South Korea, like for our two nations share the same like sort of experience. GPA determines everything. Like literally everything determines everything is determined by the GPA. You're ranked by like your ranking is publicly displayed on an Excel where everyone can see how you ranked. Like they rank from like top to bottom. Like if you for those students who ranked at the bottom, they just feel like, bro, I got humiliated, bro. It's like, yeah, you can't imagine how that kind of feels, bro. And why do I shift to an international school education? I think I've written on my essay that my mom was she was like a visiting scholar to the University of Florida, and she brought me to the United States when I was 6 to 7. And after that, she would hire like some like American students in China to teach me English. So so that's why I don't sound like a typical Chinese guy, bro.
No, you don't.
Yeah, bro. But okay, but on to the thing. I'm just like really not that good at the language art thing. I think I've written this. Like it's kind of like this kokugo or whatever, however this is pronounced.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Japan, yeah.
Okay, I'm just like not that good at that subject. But for STEM subjects, I'm like I'm above average, and sometimes I'm at the top. And as for the school in Shenzhen, though, it only tests on your English skills and your math skills. That's it. So like on the last term, I was like, okay, that place is a better place for me though. So I was like, okay, sure. I'm just gonna prepare for their entrance examination for the last term of my 9th grade, and I'm dropping out of the Zhong Kao. You know what the Zhong Kao is? I think I've given you some like context.
It's an interesting exam for high school students, right?
Yep. I think. Do you guys have it?
Yeah, we have.
I didn't have it personally, but a lot of the school students do have it because public education ends in middle school in Japan. So if they want to go to high school, they will have to take an entrance exam to go to high school, and then another entrance exam for uni 3 years later. So I think that's kind of similar for China and Japan, right?
Oh yeah, and also like South Korea. Like, okay,
I have a question.
There you go.
So you said that you didn't like the GPA system, right? I mean, I completely agree with you because here, I mean, it's not as bad as you explained here in Japan, but we do get graded by our GPAs, and school teachers and even our friends kind of judge you by how good you do on your tests. So that kind of sucks, and I completely agree with you with that. So by changing your school from a public school system to an international school, did that change? Did that system of being judged by your GPA change, or was it kind of the same? What would you say?
I mean, sometimes you still get judged by your GPA because I'm at my first school. It was basically like oriented for the UK system. The British also do the same thing. Like literally, like, because I don't want to go to the UK. I've been to the UK and I think it sucks. So then I shifted to another school called UWC. You know, that's how I became like alumni with Chris. For that school though, GPA is important, but it's not that much important. Like I've seen like people who has a higher GPA than me, and they got rejected from Stanford. So you can't like totally slack and like do nothing, but it's more like you have the time to do like whatever you love, and that's how universities grade you.
That's what I would agree on. So would you say that there was a lot of other opportunities to be judged on, like extracurriculars and volunteering and stuff like that?
I would say yeah, because you can do what you like and apply that as part of your application. Because you at least you can do something that you're good at. You don't have to like forcefully do something that you're not that good at and get like judged by people, eyed by people, you know.
Okay. So on that sense, I would like to ask a question to both you and Chio. So what is one thing that if you could change about your education system? This could apply to any school that you've ever been to, including Stanford that both of you guys go into now.
Okay, do you want me to start first or want Chio to start first?
If you have an answer,
yeah.
whichever can go first.
Okay.
Tony, do you have an answer?
I think I do have an answer. It really depends on what system you're talking about. Let's start with the public school system.
Okay.
I think the thing is that if you ranked like students by like test scores, I mean, fine, because judged on the cultural context, China, Japan, South Korea, and even Singapore does all the same thing. It's totally fine. But what I like to change that is that you cannot share the ranking with other people. Like your score does not determine everything. Your score does not determine everything. I've seen like people have like really high gagaku scores, and they earn like terrible when they enter the workplace. They earn terrible income. Their income is so low, bro.
Shoot. Okay.
It doesn't determine everything. I mean, it
doesn't determine your personality as well, right? Like some people see if you have a high GPA, you're smart and you're this incredible person, like you're a god. But that your score doesn't have to do anything with your personality and stuff like that. Just as a reminder. Okay. Sorry, I cut you off. Continue. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. No worries. Okay. But just like less on the emotional side, because like a lot of people in the public school system get depression. I have to say that depression rates are increasing. It's really heartbroken to see that. I just want to say that please do not bring too much emotional burden on the students. That's all I ask. I know because of cultural context, it's hard to change it to American style, but just. Please give less pressure on the students on the emotional side. Okay, let's shift to the international side. International, I don't really get much to say about this, but if I have to say something though, it's more the parent side though. It's like the parents should they should just respect the children's decision. I mean, my parents respect my decision, but that's not the case with my friends. Like some parents have high expectations on their kids. I mean, I don't know about Japan, but in China, it's the case. So
what did the parents exactly do?
They just want like higher scores, like better universities, and say, hey, you got a better university, you get better jobs, something like that. It's just those typical Asian narratives, bro. You can see like Uncle Roger, Stephen He, all sorts of things, bro.
Uncle Roger.
But long story short. Just give students less emotional pressure, give them more freedom to grow. That's it. I know there's lots of things that you can change, but this is something that the authorities can change. Give students less emotional pressure, allow them to grow freely. That's all I ask. All right.
Okay. I like that. Okay, what about you, Chio?
So I also went to a traditional Japanese school, and of course, there's a lot to say, but first of all, there's a lot of laws that, for example, you can't compete in other like international competitions unless it's a really big one. Like you can't really compete in a non-nation funded competition. Or like you can't, for example, in our table tennis group, we won the regionals, so we had a ticket to go to the nationals. But then because the national competition was like 3 days before the midterm, we weren't allowed to go. So like those like weird laws that even though we ask the teacher why there are there, like they would say, I don't know. But then like it's there and we can't do anything because we don't have the authority to change them. So I think those like they should just reduce the amount of laws they have in their school. And also another thing is that there's a lot of class, or like every class is taught by the teacher, and then we just sit down on our individual desks and face the blackboard and we just take notes. And that kind of style really makes us individuals, which is nice for us to like develop our own studying like skills. But I don't think life like works like that. It's a lot of collaboration, and you get to have your own strength and like cover the weakness with other people's strength. So I think there should be more collaborative classes, and I think that's like the classes here at Stanford really taught me that.
Yeah.
But
I completely agree. There's like this weird law, not law, but it's these
regulations.
Regulations, yeah, exactly. Where you have to wear this particular type of uniforms every day. You can't wear hats in school. You have to use these very formal words to your teachers. There's just like a lot of like weird rules that you have to follow. And when you ask why you have to follow them, there's no answer. It's just basically a tradition that you have to, behave upon. And what I think was common for both Tony and Tio was that a lot of these Asian schools are based on authority, and it's very one-sided. It's one direction. not the band name, but it's very one direction, where the teachers are your commanders, and you have to like not just your teachers but also your parents are your commanders, and you have to follow them. And this kind of education, although it has its merits, it's very efficient when teaching, because students are less encouraged to question these facts that they have facts, and it's very efficient when teaching, but it also takes away the motivation to learn more and stuff like that. So that's what I thought was common for both Tony and Tio. Now, you guys both go to Stanford, right? You guys both go to Stanford, right? So I want to learn if there was a complaint you had about the Stanford education.
I don't really have like big complaints on like Stanford, because getting into Stanford is a really prestigious thing. It's really hard. Yep. But I want to say it's like I don't think it's really Stanford's fault. It's just like the problem with the quarter system in general. It's that things sometimes get really fast paced, like especially like when sometimes the teaching content is like really difficult, bro. Things get accelerated really, really fast, and people sometimes find it struggling to catch up. Like I have like a friend who comes to my roommate because my roommate is like a CS major. My other friend is like struggling in CS. Like he has to like go to office hours, go to like his friends and all sorts of things. Like he has to spend like a huge amount of time like after class. But I mean it's not really on Stanford's side. It's more on like the quarter system in general, because my friend from UC Berkeley is saying that it's the same thing. My friend from UCLA also have sent like some complaints. Same case with Northwestern on all those sorts of schools. I mean, you just have to get acquainted with the fast paces, and just have to get ready. That's the thing. I mean,
would you say there are enough supporting systems for these students that can't catch up with the fast-paced classes?
I would say yes, because sometimes just students just don't use them, and they just got emotional so much. They spend a lot of a lot of their time to digest their depression. But I should say that there's like a lot of resources. Like you can go to office hours, you can go to your TAs. You have some friends who's really supportive. Lots of people find me on music related stuff. I also talk to my roommate a lot about like CS related stuff. Like he's doing his own startup and he's like really good at coding. And sometimes we like for like non like academic stuff though. I often talk to my like upper class people on like let's say like choosing a dorm, getting engaged with a club, all those sorts of things. Like, I mean, there's like a lot of resources. You just have to reach out. You just have to branch out. I mean, yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. What about you, Chill?
Yeah, I do agree that it is fast paced. I think the problem about maybe the U.S. in general is that there's a lot fewer national holidays. So I think that's why it's making it really fast paced. So in Japan, there's like at least one or two, mostly two per month, like 2 national holidays per month. But in the US, there's like 1 in 3 months or 1 quarter. So, and then we also get like 1 week holiday like several times, once in several months in Japan. But here it's like one like Thanksgiving holiday across the year. So I think that's one thing. And then another thing is that, so I was taking CS 107E, which is a project-based class, as an alternative to CS 107, which is like a really large CS class. And I felt that the project-based class really taught me how, or like why we are learning these coding things. Whereas in some classes, I feel like how does this connect to what we will use in the future? Because it's like part of our major requirements, but we don't really, or I don't really sometimes don't know how I'm going to use that in the future.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, Chia, do you want to move on to the question that you wanted to ask?
Oh yeah, so, like coming to the U.S., like a lot of U.S. people's thought on Japan is like anime, like people like manga kind of culture, but I've never like really read big mangas, and I think anime and manga is more of like a America Japan culture than a Japanese culture. So what is like, I was wondering if you also have like this thing where there's like a misconception of your country that you realize coming here.
Yeah, there is. There's definitely like, first of all, let's talk about Panda Express. People say that orange chicken is like authentic Chinese food. I was like, bro, you can never eat this thing in China. It's basically an Americanized product. Let's say the California like sushi rolls, like they put like salad dressing on sushi. Have you guys seen this kind of thing, bro?
I have never. Like no one in Japan would ever do that.
See, that's the thing. Because America is a really big localization market. Like all food coming to America has to be designated for Americans to eat, and we are all victims on it. And also my Italian friend, when I was talking to her about the pineapple pizza thing, she was like so mad.
Wait, I feel like it makes it really good because all the American foods are salty and the pineapple just like makes it a bit sweeter.
Yeah, but Italians don't like it. Okay. Apart from the food.
Sorry, Italians.
The culture.
Okay,
people say, I think you guys probably seen this from like the LDP and all those sorts of like, those media, saying that like, like political freedom and all those sorts of things. And, because I'm now talking to you via VPN. I mean, some sorts of it are true. And I also hear like some people from like different places saying that people in China cannot go out of the country unless approved by the government. The truth is that it only applies to like people who works in the government. And that's only like less than 5% of all people. I've seen those kind of people who works at the government. They don't want you to go out because you may like disclose like let's say some like national secret. I mean, if you're like a government official, that's fine. But none of my family works in the government. I don't want to work in the government. So I can just go wherever I want as long as I have the money, as long as I have the time. And also, like, yeah, you can't talk much about like political stuff and all sorts of things, but I mean, you can still like listen to like a lot of like music from all over the world, all those sorts of pop culture. That's how we like basically, you know, that's how we basically came through everything. I mean,
yeah, can I just say something? I just think that China is a victim of misconception. I think in Japan, there's this typical stereotype that
I heard that.
I do not like where
yeah, they
Chinese
just blame everything on China, and they're saying like, "Hey,
I know,
hey, and the earthquake is China. China manually created the earthquake and killed our people." This is what they're saying, bro. I was like, bro,
that's so stupid, though. I mean, what I've heard wasn't that bad. We were just I mean, not we, but my teacher like was had this bias against China that these Chinese people were loud, and that's why Japanese tourist spots are very crowded and stuff like that. I mean, some of it might be true, but it creates a stereotype against Chinese people that all of them are loud, all of them don't care about like the public spaces and stuff like that. So I guess that's like a misconception, and I as like a very how do you call it, like vulnerable student was affected by that bias, and I had this stereotype against China until I met these people from China when I went to the US. They were visiting for this summer program, and I mean they were the nicest people, and they were like what I liked about, I mean, this again creates a stereotype, but what I think in general is that Chinese people have so much confidence in themselves, and I love that. I mean, this is a stereotype, so I don't want this to spread around, but that's what my personal opinion is. And I just think that there's just the victims of misconceptions so much. They're the nicest people, and I think a lot of it goes to like politicians, you know, trying to spread their you know, word. Like,
crazy woman's doing crazy stuff, bro.
I know.
Bro, she's like so. Can you imagine that, bro? She's like, okay. I used to have stereotypes against your country based on what I was been taught. Because you know the huge earthquake that occurred on March the 11th. Some people are cheering for it. I'm like so angry with those people. Like some of my classmates, I was like only like 7. I was like 7 years old. Some of my classmates are cheering with them, and I have no connection with them ever since. Ooh, and then they're talking about the the whatever, like the nuclear power plant that got leaked out. You know, people say, hey, don't go to that country because you'll get poisoned by the nuclear wastewater. This is what they're saying. You'll get like cadmium.
But were the teachers saying that?
No. It's basically like the older generations, like my grandparents. They're like against it because because they were like receiving like those conservative stuff. I mean, I've been to your country the first time was like in 2024. I was pretty amazed. I saw like the railway system. I was pretty obsessed. I know like some of the lines. I was like on the last day I was totally amazed. I was taking the Saxa line to Narita Airport, and I have no idea that it goes to the airport. I just saw that sign that says NRT and says, "Hey, bro, what the heck? The metro takes me to the airport." but it says but it says it terminates at Skytree, and that's it. Then I just knew that it directly goes to another line without changing the trains, bro. Only the driver changes. The trains carries forward. You don't have to step off the train and take another one.
Freaking awesome.
It's called like Joksu Wundeng or whatever you guys call it.
Yeah, Joksu.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant.
We don't have this sorts of things. Like lots of the things that you guys have are really convenient. Like even like $30 US dollar hotels like have like smart bidets and all sorts of things. And people are pretty friendly though. They don't because they saw my passport. They know I'm mainland Chinese, but they didn't say that. But they didn't do anything bad. They're just like, hey, It's totally fine. They just
the younger generation should be fine. Like the older ones are the ones that you should be careful about. The
older ones are the fans of that crazy lady, bro.
Wait, what is this crazy lady you keep talking about? Who is it? Who is this?
The crazy lady. It's your prime minister.
Oh, okay.
You know all those sorts of things that she's talking about, like, basically, like, you probably heard like some of her political scandals and all sorts of things. Like, she was like making like bad videos, like to slander like her political opponent. That's all I heard, but I can't validate this. This is what I saw from like the internet, from like the US, and also like angering China and South Korea at the same time. South Korea had a protest on that. But you know what? The people, but just don't connect politics with people, because none of us,
absolutely,
not even Americans, can determine what the government do. Let's say like Donald Trump was elected as president. Lots of my friends hated him, but can they do anything about it? No, they can't.
Yeah, don't connect people with politics. The people.
Yeah, the politicians
always for certain the nicer.
People wanted peace. Nobody wanted a war. Nobody wanted to go to the war field and sacrifice their lives. I doubt anyone wanted to do that. Yep.
Completely.
Any more? All right.
So go on, Joe.
Okay, so this is the second to the last question. So every time, I come back to Japan, I feel like even though I'm taking the same bus, the same train, it feels so different. So since you're back in China, do you see your country differently after coming to the U.S.?
I was prepared for the difference, honestly, because I was like saying, hey, I'm coming back to, no one's speaking English. Nobody's thinking like my American friends. You just have to be prepared. I don't see like anything is like so different. I mean, I also take the metro every day, like for commuting and all sorts of things. I take the Shinkansen every week from Shenzhen to Guangzhou because I live in Guangzhou. People just speak a different language. They just like think a little different. I mean, because most of my friends though, they're still coming back from the US or the UK. And my parents, they get used to what I think. Because I call on my parents a lot when I was in the States. They know that I'm changing because I'm living in a different country. So they don't actually mind. They get acquainted with what I talk and what I think. My friends are, because they're living in like a same situation. The only challenge though is my colleagues when I'm taking my internship. But I mean, I kind of forgot that I came from Stanford. I came from the States. I just keep reminding myself that don't think that, hey, I'm from the States, or I've been studying in the States. I am 100% different from what I think. Don't think like that. If you just think like a typical person as they are, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like fine in what way?
Yeah,
that's what I say. Like, you don't be different for the sake of being different.
Don't be different for the sake of being different.
Yeah,
why do you not want to be different?
I think it's still about like cultural stuff. Like, both of our culture have like rules saying that. I mean, there's no like official rules saying that being different is something bad. But let's say, okay, Akira. I think this is a good example. Imagine you're in high school. Everyone wears the same uniform. Everyone like speaks the same language, studies the same thing, wears the same uniform, performs the same routine, until let's say you want to dye your hair. Just think that you want to dye. Just say you want to dye your hair. Dye your hair. You went to school and you can imagine what's going to happen. Your teachers is going to ask you, "Hey, why are you dyeing your hair?" Let's say the rules saying that you can't dye your hair. Or like all our classmates are saying, "Hey, why are you dyeing your hair?" Nobody's dyeing. Nobody here is dyeing their hair. Why are you dyeing your hair? Some sorts of things like that. Because if you're different, people will like exclude you from the conversation. Some sorts of like that. Let's say in a train. Let's say you're taking the train back. You like, I know no one's gonna do that, but let's say you accidentally forgot to mute your phone, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
and your ringer just buffs out, and all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the train
Mm-hmm.
starts eyeing on you and saying that, hey, saying that, dude,
Ooh.
why does this guy not mute his phone? Some sorts of things like
I
that.
didn't know
Same
that.
thing.
I didn't know that. China had those kind of like unspoken rules as well. I thought that was
Not
like
many.
a not many.
It's more in the workplace. More in the workplace, like you have a lot of
Okay,
unspoken rules, and in schools. But when you're
interesting.
commuting, though, like a lot of people are like playing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
lots of people are like speaking like a little louder, like
Mm-hmm.
just like in the cow train. You know, people
Mm-hmm.
sometimes talk on their phones, and you know, unspoken rules applies in the workplace and
Mm-hmm.
where you're either earning your income or you're
Mm-hmm.
scoring a test score.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think a lot of these similarities of Japan and China um, comes because that the our countries, Japan and China, and I mean South Korea as well, is homogeneous, and
Yeah,
we
but
expect ourselves to be similar. We expect ourselves to understand these rules, even though
yeah,
we
yeah,
don't have to tell them, and we
yeah,
expect
yeah.
ourselves, and that's why there's entrance exams, right? We expect ourselves to be the same. So the only way to make the difference is how much study you do, and that is only being measured by your GPAs. For example, if you had different backgrounds, like in the US, where you might come from a Hispanic family, where you might come from an Asian family, where you might come from like a black family,
Oh,
you know, these create these are the differences that you have in culture and how much income you have and how much education you can receive, and the way you can measure these differences is through your how would you call it, your also GPA as well, but also your extracurricular activities and how much volunteering
yeah,
activities you did.
exactly,
So I think
exactly.
that is like why these differences in measurements and culture comes from. Like it's because that our countries are homogeneous and that the US is not. Does that
Mm,
make sense?
yeah, but
Uh-huh.
I'm saying that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like, you know, just
Hmm.
don't want yourself to like be too much of like. I think it's more on the side of like costs and sorts of things, because I
Mm-hmm.
think like I see in India, where because my roommate is from India, like he's American citizen, but his parents are Indian. He told me
Hmm.
that it's more on the cost side, like people, because both countries, because I think for all of us, we have like a lot of people, like we have like more candidates than the US, like you know the ratio. So I mean, if everyone is filtered by the US standard, though, it's gonna cost a lot of money, and it's really not realistic for us to like select
True.
people
True.
on
True.
that
True.
channel.
True. True.
So sometimes we just, for the sake of like easiness and like what we call like algorithmic convenience,
Mm-hmm.
that's how we ended up selecting people on only like one, like let's say on one criteria, which in this case is test scores. But I
Hmm.
mean, you just really can't solve this in the short term, and just give it some time. And
Mm-hmm.
on a less friendly way to express it, you just have to wait for the like the conservatist generation
Mm-hmm.
to like disappear completely, because probably they
Mm.
are the people who resist changes. Like the older generations, they resist changes. They don't know that newer system, like you know, is like more justice to people. All
Mm.
those things, like those people are the ones who are like, you know, because you know why parents are expecting children with high expectations, because this is what they're being taught. This is
Mm.
the cultural thing that we've been inherited for thousands of years. This is where we came from, right?
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. It may seem a little detached, but I just want to say this to everyone, especially for international students who's listening to this. No matter where you come from, no matter your government, no matter your social system, where whatever, please never forget where you came from, and please never forget your mother tongue.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Lots of my immigrant I'm not saying that they're bad, but it's just like really unfortunate of having them lost their mother language.
Why do you think that?
I mean, it's really because I've seen like a lot of like immigrant families in the States, like in Stanford, there's lots of them, where when their parents are having trouble communicating with their children because they're not speaking the same language. I attended a gathering by a lot of like American-born Chinese parents. Their parents are extremely fluent in Mandarin because they grew up in China, but their children can only speak English. I'm not enforcing like everyone to speak Mandarin in particular, because I've seen a lot of like Hong Kong students who like came to like the US. It's Cantonese or like Hokkien. You know what Hokkien is? It's spoken in like Fujian and Taiwan. You know, Hokkien. And also Hakka. There's a lot of languages. But the thing is, your English or whatever the language is spoken in general takes you to the outside world, but your mother tongue tells you where you're from. It tells you where you started everything. Or it tells you where your family started everything if you're an immigrant.
Why is that? Why is that such a strong message from you?
I was just saying that because it's, for me, it's kind of pathetic to see myself when people are asking me about China and I can't say anything about it. This is going to be really pathetic. I kind of feel this when an American-born Chinese guy, he's an American citizen, he can write Chinese poems, he can do Chinese divination, he understands Chinese history better than most Chinese citizens, and he's an American citizen. It just makes me so ironic. Having like, let's say, people who are born in this country knows less than someone from a foreign country who's not even a history major. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, people say that, like, I have a friend who's third-gen immigrant from India. He can still speak his tribal language. He speaks his tribal language to his parents. One, he's saying this to basically, you know, encrypt his conversation so people who can't speak his language can't understand him. But more importantly, when I asked him why he does not use English, after being a third gen, he says that this is my culture. My language is my culture. My language is my heritage. My language tells me where my parents and where my family came from, and that's why I'm here. That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just never forget where you're from. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, so I was just saying that your language or your heritage identifies who you are. So
yeah, both of our countries have rich cultures. Lots of people don't know them. I think both of us are being filled by stereotypes, and also by like bad Americanized foods such as orange chicken, California roll sushi. But what we should do, what we should talk to our children is that we should be like, our children should identify as wherever we came from. Let's say if I have my children, if my wife is still Chinese, I will tell him that he's Chinese whatever his nationality is. If my wife came from another country, I'll ask my wife and also myself to explain to my children both heritage. Like my child is from both heritages. This is you know, if let's say if my wife's from a different country, if that's the chance, this is what I'm gonna do to my children.
Interesting.
I do like California rolls though.
It's just like sushi with like salad dressing and American made like sauces. Bro, when I eat sushi, it's basically soy sauce and, you know, whatever the greenish thing is, wasabi or whatever is it called?
Yeah.
Who used salad dressing to
One thing that I would be careful about is that you don't want to force the culture upon children, because our family where me and Tio comes from is pretty traditional, I would say, and our grandparents are very traditional. So there's these rules that you have to follow. And as a person who was very liberal growing up, I didn't like them. and it felt very forced to follow these instructions on how to live. So what I would be careful about is to not force like the belief or the ways of living upon these children. But I would, but I think we do have to teach our culture and heritage, because as Japanese, your children are probably gonna be grown up like in Japanese, and there's gonna be hidden biases upon yourself, and without telling your children that, oh, these biases or these traditions or these cultures are Japanese, your children might be confused of who and what they are. So I would very much agree with what Tony said. Okay.
About the sorry, one sec. About the good thing and bad thing. I'd also be cautious of that, because I'm also pretty liberal. So just avoid the bad things and just teach the good things. Like, let's say, like, traditional music, gagaku, kimonos, all sorts of things. I mean, based on your context.
Yeah. So this is one question that we ask all the interviewees. So one is, what is your favorite word in your country's word? And the second is, if there's one thing you can change in the world, what would it be?
First is a favorite word in my country's language. Oh, I really don't have one. Okay, I'll think of one now. Okay, this character. Okay, I'll type this character. Akira, I think you can probably see this. I'll type this character here. This character.
Okay. Let me share my screen. This is also, I like this word in Japanese as well. Wait. Give me 5 seconds.
You're good.
Let me type
You're
it
good.
Bigger. Okay,
is it like readable in Japanese too?
This is the character he typed in.
Oh, that was like, yeah. Oh no. Like,
it's called wa in Japanese.
Nagomi?
Wa.
Or
Nagomi, or also Nagomi,
yeah.
but it's called wa in Japanese. Okay, so why did you pick this?
In Chinese it's pronounced as he, because you've probably seen this word, like, I'll also type this over here, called 平和, which means peace. And also something like 和为贵, which means peace is the ultimate solution. So this word is something that taught me to, like, not use, like, violence, or let's say, yes, 平和means peace. So sometimes I was, when I was, like, really young, what I think is a really Hammurabi approach. By Hammurabi, I mean, if someone hits me in the eye, I'll hit the other guy in the eye. If someone slaps my face, I'll slap that guy in the face. But that's just not the case. Sometimes you just have to, like, just have to be, like, being peaceful is, like, I mean, being peaceful is not to show, like, a sign of surrender or weakness. It's just saying that this person is not the correct person to get along with. Just keep away from this guy. That's it. And also, like, this is like a local scale. On a global scale, though, y'all seen the news. Our countries are having a bit of, like, azure relationship in terms of government side. U.S. is also, like, on, like, a sort of, like, diplomatic pressure with, like, now Iran and previously Venezuela and all those sorts of things. Like, the politicians are fighting each other for their own interests. You've probably all seen that. You also seen probably, like, Afghanistan and Pakistan that happened like a few months ago. It's just that people should just learn to be friendly with each other, because we all live on the same planet. We're all humans. We have differences. That's totally okay. There's something that brings everyone together to compete. We have common enemies, such as, like, global warming, climate change, all sorts of things. Like, our Earth is becoming more and more less desirable to live. If people can work together, live peacefully, that's a good thing. Can you imagine that? Like, people from all over the world thinking of common solutions to solve things and, you know, to stop fighting with each other. We all know that people are all patriotic, people all love their countries, but we have a common goal. We're all humans, right?
Cannot agree more.
Yeah, I don't like that news.
But on the other hand, it's very hard, right?
Yeah, I know it's hard because politicians don't want that. They just want their own interest. They just want their own votes.
Yeah, they won't.
But we can start from like our own community and like our house and or like our dorms, and gradually make it.
I think education plays a big part in it as well. If we all know that climate change is such a huge problem, and if we watch like documentaries and people actually losing their homes because of the surface level of these oceans rising, we could have like a common sense of what we should do, and that this is such a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of steps, and it takes a lot of politicians, it takes a lot of laws, it takes a lot of education. I mean, there's so much work to do.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the second question.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
Second question is what? Like, remind me of
what is one thing that, if you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? It might.
If I can change one thing in the world, what would it be? Just as what I talked about earlier, I would say that the international laws and common rules should be established to make sure people don't use their own national interests to, like, invade other people and take interests of others. That's it. I just want to enforce, like, sometimes even like harsher punishments to like real punishments, not like just moral condemnation and like just like let's say some like fines and those sorts of things, but real things, real warnings to some people to, like, if they don't follow the rules. But let's just not start too radical. Sometimes we start with like meditation with people. Let's say people who like, they have like some edgy stuff, like let's just talk and think of like a common solution. Don't just emphasize national interest that much. International laws should be enforced to everyone. Everyone has to follow the rules. Everyone should follow the rules for a better world. If they don't, they will face punishments. This is what I'm gonna do. If I can change the rules, why am I playing the piano? I want to bring people together, cross political boundaries. Right? It's hard, but
yeah,
because this is what I've been taught when I was in high school. Because UWC is trying to achieve this goal. I don't know whether you talked to Chris about it, but this is what I've been taught. I heard this from my principal, my board, our boards, and also the executive director of UWC when he came to our school.
Oh, really?
All right. I want to one last question. Really, one last question.
No worries.
We always have to think of a podcast title, right? And I've been trying to come up with one. What do you want your podcast title to be? We don't usually ask this to our guests, but I'm struggling to think of one. What do you want it to be?
Let's say that because I think the center of everything is just like accepting differences for a better world through music or something sorts of like that. Because this is what I've been doing, this is what I've been taught, and this is what I'm working on. And, because I've been talking to like lots of like people from the whatever called Tadashi and Ai Foundation. I've been adding like a lot of people on that. Yeah, I know that. I have a lot of clothes from his company. They're very good. Yeah, I bought a lot. I also recommend to my friends. I just went to a store in Shenzhen. But if you were to talk about like a like a topic or like a title, let's say something that's related to music. Okay, let me give some keywords. Music, changing the world, accepting differences, peace and love, something sorts of like that.
Okay, what about bringing people together?
Bring people together through peace, love, and music. Let me type it. Bringing people together with peace, love, and music.
Okay. Gotcha.
Let's go with that.
There we go.
All right. Should we end the podcast there?
Yeah. Thank you for
you guys
coming
can.
to our podcast.
Oh, did you want to say
and
something
reaching out.
before?
No, you're good.
No? Okay. Okay, so
right.
say one last bye to the audience. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
It's
you.
been great talking to you guys.